Hey, if you want to get better at JavaScript, array methods are essential and very important. If you're new here, welcome. I am Giwa Tolani and I do weekly videos on JavaScript. If you're interested, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications. So, in this video, we're going to be looking at the array map method using 5 examples in 10 minutes. And these examples will increase in difficulty as we progress. So basically what map does is it creates a new array by transforming every element in an array individually based on the existing one. So let's quickly dive in. I have an array of number 1 to 6. I have a short example of filter method to have a clear example or clear picture of map and filter. So let's declare a variable const double number equals numbers dot map. Map map, yeah, map takes a callback function value index an array. So we have double equals our function returns double multiply by 2. Let's console.log double column, yeah. But first, double iterate through each item in the array. Double picks the first item, 1 multiplied by 2, 2 multiply by 2, and so on. So let's run that. Yeah. So see, filter removes the element that doesn't belong, while map here returns a new array by transforming every element in the array. Let's switch this a bit to get the difference and a clearer picture between map and filter. So I'm going to change this to greater than 2. Yeah, that's map. Greater than 2. So let's run that. We got a Boolean value. So it didn't remove the element that didn't belong. Instead, we got a Boolean value. Is 1 greater than 2? Is 2 greater than 2? So which is false. Since we have a single line of code, we can exempt the return keyword and the curly braces. So it makes our code shorter. So same as above. Let's run that. Yeah. So let's go over example 2. Let me clear this first. Yeah. So const people. So I have an array of objects named Tolan. I guess just copy and paste this. Yeah. Okay. We'll be declaring a new constant. Const get name equals people the map. We take a callback function and 3 parameters for using the value here. So person, the arrow function, curly braces. So what this simply means is for every single person in this array of objects, so for every single item here, I search through. So return person dot name. So whatever you return is what's going to be used in the resulting array when a map method has run. So console.log, let's run that. So we have this each name in the array. We can make this code shorter with the implicit return. So what's implicit return? Earlier I said if you have a single line of code and you are returning a value, you can exclude the return keyword as well as the curly braces. So we're going to run that and still get exactly the same thing here. So let's run that. Great. So track. Right. So that's what it simply means. So you can exclude your return keyword and your curly braces if you have a single line of code. Right. Before going through example 3, let me format this so it could have both first and last name. We're using it to get only the first name in the next example. Timothy. I have, let me put this Ptolemy. So we're going to declare a variable, a const rather, const get first name. We're going to be using the previous format, so people.map callback function using the value here. So first name objects I threw through each object in the array. Name dot split, starting with an empty string and the position index of 0. So what split does is split splits a string into an array of substring based on a specific delimiter, which is the empty string, the empty space between the first and the last name. And the array 0 means since it's a substring, it picks the first element in the array. So console.log get first name. Let's run that. So it got us the first names of each items in the array. Right, so let's go to example 4. In this example, we just want to get an array of objects with just the name and the age. So basically, we're taking out the gender and the height. So we have const get name and age. We're going to be returning an object here. So people.map. Then we have person. In the arrow function, we're going to have an object, and we're going to set the name property, which we are going to assign or set to person.name. Right, and we also have age, which we're going to assign to person.age. So the above code is already throwing an error. That's because by default, curly braces in an arrow function represents a code block as opposed to an object to return. So if you are returning an object, you need to wrap it up in parentheses. So I said that earlier before too. So yeah, I'm going to wrap them up in parentheses. Okay, sorry about that. Let's run this before we add the parentheses to it. Exactly, expected a semicolon. So code block. So we all have to do is wrap the item that will be iterated in parentheses and the objects in parentheses as well. Right. These two. in this. So let's run that again. Yeah, so we have an object with just name and age. Let's go over the last example. Well, we can use the map to create a structure from an existing structure. So this last example is just so we could add an extra property to the already existing properties in the array of objects. So we have const add occupation equals people, the map, the callback function, person. So since it's an object, we're going to use the curly braces. Yeah. So we're going to be using the spread operator. The spread operator takes an iterable and expands it into a single element. So this is the key, this occupation, double colon, the value, web development, developer rather, web developer, right. So let's not forget our parentheses since we have an arrow function, a curly braces before the arrow function. So let's console.log. Yeah, that. So we're going to console.log add occupation. Oops. Yeah. So let's run that. So we have occupation added as one of the properties in the item. So that's what the map does.